live in X by now. Twitter is not Twitter, sorry. YouTube should be live soon. But yeah, anyways, hello everyone. Hello X. Hello software engineers, DevOps, infrastructure engineers, QAs, everyone. So we are on another Daggerize World Friday with my friend Matthias. We both work at Dagger.io. We have been doing this for the past 2 or 3 weeks, every Friday for around 1 hour. So to give you like a quick summary of what we have been doing, even though nobody's probably watching us right now, is we took the homebrew project on GitHub, and then we selected one of the pipelines, the CI pipelines that that project actually has, which is basically building some things in Brew and then pushing an image. And in the past 2 weeks, we basically started to Daggerize that. We explained the benefits of Daggerizing the project. We have a pipeline that actually works. And the idea of today is to spend an hour trying to basically finish the Daggerization project and hopefully open a PR against the Brew project, which basically involves changing the GitHub action, like finishing some performance improvements that we detected while Daggerizing this, and also changing the GitHub action so we can actually run this in GitHub, right? And
Yep.
GitHub actions. Having said that, I would like to introduce my partner in crime, my like a person that I estimate a lot, which is Matthias. Mati.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if people are watching. It's weird to stream when nobody's watching because you don't know if you should be actually speaking to someone. So I guess I'm speaking just to you. And if somebody watches this on YouTube and wants to say hi, say hi.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, you can leave a comment if you want in the X chat or YouTube. We should see it here. And if you have any questions around Dagger, maybe you saw Dagger, or you have any questions about the project that we are Daggerizing, yeah, feel free to ask, and we can spend a little bit of cycles on chatting about that.
Nice.
Having said that, do you want to jump right into the tornado, Mati?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay,
And
let's do it.
we should be watching your screen right about now.
Okay.
Nice.
So if you see my screen now, and I'm gonna give it a few seconds here. Okay, I
Yeah.
see it now. Perfect.
Nice.
Let me increase the font a little bit.
Probably a good
Not
idea.
here,
Yeah.
but here. Okay, that should be better now. So if you've been following us on the past streams, and if you don't, you can go ahead and watch them. Yeah, it seems like the bit rate, it's out of, yeah, I'm actually seeing here in Restream that the bit rate is very high for the stream, so the quality of the stream seems to be fair. Yeah, I think that we need to like, you need to like reboot the stream, right, Mati, to change that, the bit rate?
Let me see.
So according to this, it says the bit rate should be less than 4,000 kilobits per second.
Okay. Let me see if I can configure that.
I don't know what value you currently have now.
9.
9,000?
Yeah.
Okay, set it to 4.
I did. Does that work now? Is it still
Seems like
complaining?
it works. No, seems okay. I see it at 4,000. Okay, so we should be better now. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So we basically had this very, like, to give you like a quick context update. Yeah, it's just like the quality is excellent now. We had this GitHub Actions pipeline that basically, which is the official one that you can see on the Brew project, which basically runs this Brew test bot, which basically does a Docker run, and then it actually deploys some images to Docker Hub and to GHCR. And then it basically pushes things with different tags, and then there's a condition here that depending on which version, it then pushes some things to some places and whatnot. So what we did on the past 2 weeks, we basically Daggerized this, and as you can see here, we changed a lot of this logic, where we are basically building the same thing, the same image with some labels. There's a to-do here that we might have to address.
Yeah,
I don't know, today or some
and
other
you
day.
have to pull because you're missing all the published stuff.
Oh, you're right, because you are the one that actually worked on this
Yeah.
last, right? So let me I think I'm gonna, yeah, that should be okay. So I'm gonna restore this, git restore this, and then git pull. Okay, nice. Okay, Dagger main pro. Okay,
There we
yeah,
go.
and
Nice.
on the past week, basically with Matthias, we focused on this publish flow, where I think we actually need to change this probably. We'll see.
No, it's
Where
the registry is already created, and we can push
yeah,
there, like no problem.
okay, cool. From
I
our
mean,
GitHub
we
Actions.
can leave there for now so that we can test it. If we want to send the PR directly to Brew, then we are going to need to change it. But for now, we can use these. We can use the credentials that we have in our repo, in our fork, and yeah, validate
Makes
that
sense.
everything publishes correctly.
So our fork would be github.com Ranela/brew, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
this
the
would
one.
be our fork. Okay, nice, cool. Nice. So the only thing that we need to do is basically change the GitHub Action workflow, which is docker.yaml, I believe,
Yep.
right? This one. Use Dagger here.
Remove
then,
so much YAML.
Yeah, so this is the best part, right? We can basically get rid of YAML. And
Yeah.
but before doing that, there was like one pending thing that we wanted to address, which is if you run this Docker file, the brew Docker file, and you invalidate the cache, the basically Docker build cache, it's gonna take a lot of time because it needs to pull a lot of things from
Yeah.
like from a lot of places in the internet, and it is particularly annoying when you run it locally, especially in your machine when you have a hot cache, and then things can actually be cached here. In a CI environment, this is a bit more tricky because you have like ephemeral machines that run on a new environment each time, so it is a bit more difficult to cache things.
Yeah.
But here we could actually leverage this like quite nice. So I'm gonna show how basically what I mean by this. So if I run the build process, the Dagger build, so I'm gonna do here. Let me change my prompt so it's easier to see. I'm gonna close this. If I do Dagger functions, so we have a function that is called test, right? Which is a function that basically runs the whole thing. So if I do Dagger call or test, sorry, and then we set the source src here, this is gonna basically run the Docker build, and this particular step where I can show you in the Docker file, this particular step where I'm basically copying the whole context and then running a lot of commands. There's a brew tab command here, and brew install gems and their brew cleanup that actually do like download a bunch of stuff from the internet, and we are not caching that. So the problem is that every time that we run this is going to take between 5 and 6 minutes in my machine because of my network connectivity and so on. So we actually want to cache a bunch of these things. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this particular topic because it's already there's a lot of information about this on the web. But there's a way that you can cache these things with the Docker file, which is basically by using like a cache directives here in the run command. So in order to optimize this, what I'm going to do is we already did all the work on understanding which of the folders need to be cached. I don't know, Mati, if you think it's worth showing how to make that process on understanding what you can do to cache in a Docker file. Maybe that's useful for people.
I don't think like today is going to be super useful. I think the useful thing is going to be to show how you can grab that kind of optimization that you already did for a Docker file and then do it in Dagger. But we can leave that for the future. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in this case, we need to do it on the Docker file because we are building from the Docker file.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can't really like make it run natively in Dagger.
Yeah.
At least for now. In order to like take advantage of the Dagger options for this, we would have to like migrate this Docker file to Dagger, which is ideally what I would do in the long term.
Quick way that you might be able to find like potential caching things, but it really depends, is if you look at the Docker ignore. In some cases, when you have like big folders that need to be recreated or whatever, they're usually added to the Docker ignore. In this case, like
Yes.
in the case of what we did, it ended up being like one by one. It's not always the case. Like sometimes you just ignore stuff that you're not even going to create within the Docker file itself, the Docker, sorry, build
Yeah.
process itself. But in this case, like both of them and an additional one, they need to be they don't need to be cached, but if we want to optimize, they're beneficial to cache. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what Matthias is saying. So this gives you a hint on things that you would like to cache.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Docker ignore. So what I'm gonna do now is basically fix this issue. And oops, uh, my screen went all black.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Linux. This is huge. Okay.
He uses Linux, by
Sorry.
the way. He
Yeah,
uses
arranging
i3, by the
screens,
way.
things like
Yeah.
that. So in order to fix this, I basically need to add a directive here in the Docker file that is called mount, right? So I'm going to tell this command to mount the type of the mount is I'm going to use a cache,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to use the target directory where I want things to cache. The first one is going to be, so if I look at the Docker ignore, as Matthias is saying, the first one is going to be this directory, right? So library, homebrew, right? So we can take this directory here, and then target, basically put it here. And then, yeah, library. Am I in the library? I think since I'm in the Linux brew, now I need to add the folder. It should be homebrew / library / vendor / portable Ruby. That's one. Oops. No, I didn't want to do that. So I want to do this.
Nice.
The second one that I need to cache, so I'm going to copy this same thing here below. Sorry, I'm fat fingering all over the place. So the second one that I want to cache is the other folder, which is this one.
Yep.
Library tabs. And then I need to add homebrew here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a third one, which is not in the Docker ignore, but you can see it here, which is the cache folder. So this pipeline basically, it runs all these commands, and then at the very end, it does like a RM cache. And the reason why the authors probably do this is because they don't want this folder to be present on the final image, right? So this is part of the layer caching. So yeah, in order to like take advantage of the cache, but without like persisting this in the layer cache, is to basically use a cache mount, as what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are probably called cache volumes, not cache mounts. Yeah. Now, if I do this is gonna work, but there's one little caveat, which is by default these folders that are cached are created with the root user. So when, as you can see here, this pipeline is setting the user as Linux brew, which is a different user. So basically, this is gonna fail because it's gonna say that I don't have permissions to write on these folders. So what I need to do here is I basically need to specify a UID, and in this case, I'm gonna set it to 1,000, which is basically the default user ID that gets created when the user is added here.
Nice.
We already went through this process of like checking which was the user ID. So
yep.
It's not that I'm guessing right now.
Yeah.
But we know that this is going to be the case for now. So once I have this, I think we should be in a good state to make this work. Let me run this Dagger call one more time. So I would assume that the first time this is going to probably take a lot of time because it's going to download the cache from scratch and it's going to populate the cache volumes, as I said before. So I'm going to leave this running in the background while we start Daggerizing the GitHub Actions pipeline. And then hopefully when this finishes, if we run this again, then we should get like better caching because of the one thing that we haven't checked, Mati, is the is if this command on the pipeline, which is the brew test bot, actually requires some caching as well. But we can maybe do this later. I don't know how much time this command actually takes, but we'll see.
Okay.
Cool. So now that we have this, let's go to the GitHub action. So how do I start Daggerizing this here, right? So, well, first of all, the most important thing is to start removing stuff, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. So
Before removing, yeah, go
I
ahead,
have
Magic.
I have an idea just to simplify the process. You can see there that like the Ubuntu job only runs when the repository is in the homebrew organization. So in our in our repo, that's not going to run. We could add one like on top of it and call it like
Yeah,
Dagger Ubuntu that will run in our own, and we can start migrating like the things like one at a time. So we can start by like doing the publishing or like any of those steps, and
yeah.
it will have like all the, it won't have all the matrix because that's like per job, so we can
Yeah.
show like, yeah.
So you want to like create a new file, right, inside this folder
No,
called Dagger
like
Ubuntu?
on top of the Ubuntu one, like on top of the line 19,
Yeah.
we can create a new job that's
Oh,
like
another job.
Dagger
Okay, I see.
Ubuntu. Yeah. And that one will run, we won't add any if conditions or anything. And that one is
Yeah.
going to run in our own, like our own infra.
Dagger.
And yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need on the matrix because that's going to be taken care of by Dagger when with actual code instead of YAML magic.
Yes.
And yeah,
I guess we need this, right? Because this is what it was doing.
yeah.
I don't know what it
I
does.
don't
Like,
know why. Like, yeah,
yeah, so it checks out the code and then it does like a fetch
yeah.
origin master.
It's a bit confusing.
I think this is maybe it is double checking that nothing got committed between this checkout and this git fetch. I don't know why it would do it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
I'm
this
not sure.
fetches something, well, actually no, because fetch is not a git pull, so it's
It
not
doesn't
gonna.
do anything. Yeah, it's just going to like
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's
bring
leave it
some
here.
refs.
So
But
now this is where
yeah.
the magic happens. So instead of calling this part, which is what we were doing with Docker before,
Mm-hmm.
we can call our newly basically created Dagger function. And the
Yes.
way to do this in GitHub is to actually use the Dagger GitHub action, right? So if we go to docs, Dagger.io, and we look for GitHub actions, there's a snippet here
Mm-hmm.
that shows you how you can leverage the Dagger action in order to like run a Dagger pipeline in GitHub Actions, right? As you can see here. So we can copy this code.
There is a small
here.
caveat which we can solve via like the usage of outputs. You can see that in the workflow on line 66, we are running a command and then using that as a parameter, the brew version, which is it comes from the tags. So how can we, and that's basically doing like a git describe, right? Getting the last tag.
Yeah.
How can we do that
Is
with this GitHub action, with the Dagger for GitHub?
this only working on tags, this pipeline? I don't.
No, it seems to work on
If it is
push and
checking,
releases. Yeah.
if it is checking tags here, we are not tagging anything ourselves, right? So which version is it gonna use?
I think it's the last one, right? Oh no, because you don't fetch tags by default, right? When you do like a fetch.
Well, I don't know if this checkout fetches tags.
Yeah, like
Actually,
what's the status of the Git repo there? That's a good question. Okay, let's start hard coding something.
As far as I know, this runs on every PR. So if we run this on every PR, this is gonna probably return something that is not gonna be a tag, right? So I guess it should work regardless.
It won't necessarily. Yeah, it could. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to run on every PR because that's when GitHub with open source project gets a bit confusing. Like in Dagger, for example, we fork a bunch of like when you contribute, you fork, and when you run a PR, I don't know if the source directory, like if the source repository is like the organization one. So with the if condition that you had there, I'm not sure it's going to execute.
You can actually check here. So if we go to which is the name of the pipeline? Do you recall?
No, I think it was Docker. Let me see.
CI Docker, right? This one. build Docker
Yeah.
image. So this step is gonna print because it's currently doing an echo. I see here. So building. Where's the? This is the Docker build -t brew. Yeah, where's the echo? Where's the building for homebrew?
You can see there that the version is docker build #brew. So the version is empty. That's a bit
Where
odd.
is it using this brew version? Like on the image version?
Oh, the image
I don't see a
version.
version.
Image version.
Maybe this is not the pipeline that I'm looking for
Maybe not.
because I don't see it's actually.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So which was the name of the? Let's look on the pull requests maybe here on a PR.
So I think you were looking at the right one. It is Docker, the one that it's
CI Docker.
It's Docker, just plain Docker.
The
workflow name is plain Docker. Yeah.
Oh, this one. Okay,
That one.
I was
There we go.
looking at the different one.
Yes.
So
Release.
this is a release. This is a commit.
Pull request.
Like.
That one at the bottom, the below one. That one. That one is a pull request one.
This one, right? Okay.
Yep.
So let's see. I don't know, on 2024. Yeah, let's see what version it actually picks here. Okay, so it seems like it's okay. Okay, it adds basically the commit at the very end, right?
I see.
Okay. Okay, so it's doing probably the current tag plus whatever. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So
how can we do that with the Dagger for GitHub action in this case? What would be the way?
So we could actually.
I'm thinking we could either do a plain Dagger call, but that would require us to like install the Dagger CLR ourselves, which is a bit of a hassle. Or we could run a step before the Dagger function that saves this in the GitHub output, and then when we specify it, just use the curly braces syntax that GitHub has to grab the output from the previous step.
Yeah, we can do it with that. Maybe let's leave this for the very end. Let's see if we can make Dagger work first, and then
I think that's a good idea.
Like a temporary version. Okay, so we have going back to our Daggerization. We have now the action, the Dagger action. As you can see here, this is using the latest version of Dagger. We are basically running Dagger call. We are not in the context of a module because we are using our own module, and then we want to use basically the test. This is the test, right? Initially, we want to do these two first, right? Like build and test, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, build for us, it's not really needed, right? Because like we explained, I think in the first video, with Dagger, it's not that you build an image and then you reuse that image. It's just that you run your code, and then when you're reusing the same underlying container, it will just be cached by the engine, and you won't need to like redo anything. You don't really think about an image that you then use. You just think about code that you're executing, and each like specific step that you're taking can and will be cached if possible by the engine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm basically doing a Dagger call test, and then I'm setting the source. I'm not going to set any Dagger Cloud token here because it's not required.
Yeah.
But this is going to basically do the build. Going back to our pipeline, this is going to basically do the build for each of the versions, and then it's going to versions are hard-coded here. I need to basically let's leave only one initially to see if this runs. Then we can.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
So we have this, and once we have, going a bit above, once we have, this is going to finish, right? So after this, I need to make another Dagger call. But actually, I can just call, well, I want to like have two different steps, just to make sure that.
Two separate steps, one for test and one for publish.
Yeah. So I have this, and then I'm going to call publish afterward, and this is called build. So this is build and test.
Mm-hmm.
This is publish, right? And then instead of calling this is going to be publish. And what does the publish function receive? We want to do publish all, right?
We want to do
So
publish
it's going
all.
to be
Yeah.
publish all. And this receives a source.
Yeah.
And then this receives like a hub username. Oops.
Yeah.
Hub username. We are going to decide what to do with the tokens in a bit.
The tokens are already set. So you can I already configure that beforehand.
Oh, you're right.
So you can, for username in Docker Hub, I think you're gonna have to use mine, just like Matipan.
Oh, this is your user?
Yeah, I didn't have a Franela organization. And
Okay.
Hub
Oh, you're
token
right.
is a secret that it's homebrew underscore brew underscore docker underscore token. All in caps. There you go. And then for GHCR, the user is also going to be, I think, my own.
GH token and GH user, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be
for GHCR. We can just publish to this repository GHCR, but that's okay. I mean, if you already have a repo,
it's to Franela Brew. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So GH, is it username or user?
Username. Yeah.
Okay. So here I actually use GH username Franela, and GH token is gonna be secrets.
Yeah. And it's homebrew brew GitHub packages token. I reuse the same credentials that they were using. Yeah.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's here. Okay.
That
so
one.
And it's double curly braces.
Double
here.
curly braces for both. Correct.
And then here as well. And I think I need to leave a space generally at the very end, in the very beginning. Here I do this for. Okay. Let me just make sure that. Okay. So seems to be okay.
Nice.
And that should be pretty much it, right, Mati?
So
let's do this strategy, fail fast as well.
I actually have a question that I don't remember how it works with Dagger for GitHub. In the case of Hub token and the other one, the two secrets, we usually want to specify, like, we want to configure environment variables and then tell the Dagger, like, call CLI to actually be the one that picks up the environment variables, right?
So I think you need to pick here env.
Is there an env? Okay, great.
I can't. No, I think it's here env. Okay. And then
we can do like.
Thank you, Copilot.
Oh, nice. There you go. That's friendly.
Yeah, and then the only thing that you need to specify here is basically the name of the variable, which is.
You don't need to prepend it with env.
No, it's not. Okay. By default, it actually checks in the env environment.
Perfect.
Docker token, and this is the package. Nice. Thank you, Copilot again. Okay. So this should be pretty much it. So let's. Okay, Daggerboon. So let's comment all this, right? Because we don't need it. We should be publishing to all the right places. And if we already have the token set, let's see how it goes. This is going to take a while to build.
If you want, you can configure Dagger Cloud as well, the Dagger Cloud token, because it's also a secret. So if you want to see, if we want to, while it runs, show what Dagger Cloud is doing, we can do that too.
Let's wait a little bit. We can do it afterwards. Before doing that, you can see that my build failed here on the right. So the reason why it failed is because it basically told me that it couldn't remove the cache folder, and the reason for that is because when I changed the Docker file, I specified the cache volume on that folder.
Oh, we didn't remove the remove.
At the very end, it was unnecessarily removing this, so I basically need to remove that.
Nice.
And now we should be able to run it again.
Yeah, the problem is that it invalidates that entire step, but since we have the mount cache, it should be faster, right?
Yeah, now it should be faster because it already pulled all the things. It's still going to take a bit because it seems like for some steps it's not like the system is not designed to reuse the cache if it is already present, so it's still like cloning things. But like a big chunk
because
of
we
these,
changed the entire run, so that invalidates the entire step, including the cache, right?
no, the cache doesn't get invalidated. The way it works is like this is a persistent disk, but there are some steps in this run block that actually, even if there's a cache, they're still gonna do the download again. I don't know why. This is like a poor implementation of this command basically.
Okay.
I don't know if you hear the vacuum cleaning, but actually like someone is cleaning my house. So sorry for the background noise.
No, I don't hear anything. So can we push and see, like, create a PR and see if it works?
Yeah.
Or just push it to main?
We don't need to create a PR because this is gonna run on a branch as well, right? So this is gonna push. Yeah, this is gonna run on any branch. So we
branches
can just push.
Ignore master. Okay.
So any branch basically. So let's commit this, and then this is basically improve cache and GitHub Actions workflow.
Nice.
Did I comment all the? Yeah, I basically.
Yep.
I commented all the other things, right?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. Sorry. Yeah, I already. So we have this, and then git push, and then we can go to our org, and then we can go to actions. Where are the actions? We haven't enabled them here, so I want to enable them here. And I think I need to push again now because otherwise this is not going to run. So if I go to the branch, yeah, if I go here, I'm going to see that this commit doesn't have any, yeah, it's not running anything. So I'm going to do like a git amend, and then git push -f. This is going to generate another commit. So hopefully now this is going to run. Let's see. Okay, now it's running. Let's see what's happening here. Starting job. And yeah, as you can see, this is still cloning things. Okay. Pulling. This is starting the Dagger engine now. As you can see, it's pulling the Dagger image.
Nice.
Initializing. Sorry, I'm switching between screens because I want to see what happened with this.
Which version do we have in the Dagger JSON?
It's using the latest one here. But,
no, I mean in our module.
Do I have it? Wait, sorry. 11.6. But it's still gonna use the one that gets downloaded in the CLI, even though this is here. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, I mean, if we get a pipeline to build on the first try, Mati, I think that the promise of Dagger is already fulfilled, right? Because it seems like it's already building things.
There's no push and pray. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, no more push and pray, basically, right? So I mean, it's already building the thing, right? So it's actually very nice.
Yeah. And we're gonna stop the stream now so that we leave people with mystery whether it failed or not. We're going to assume that it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're that confident.
We're gonna Photoshop the results. As you can see here, this actually passed on my side, and this is gonna fail on CI. By the way, I just realized about this, and the reason why.
Oh, we didn't remove the
Yeah, it's because I need to remove main.go. I need to remove one of the things that we did initially, which is ignoring these directories. In this case, we need to like remove this restriction because otherwise, as you can see, it's going to complain that these files are missing here.
There's an alternative, but I think it's a bit messy. We could basically like remove and we could commit before running the test step, but that's does that work?
Like
Yeah.
committing the pipeline, you mean?
Yeah, like if we are like if you go to main.go, I think it's better to just remove it. But let's see if I'm saying something silly. So if you go
Like
to the test,
here.
uh,
Yeah.
we are getting like a base container, right? And we know that the base container has Git installed and all that stuff. So we could commit all those files, like the deletion of those files with a with exec, and then run the test. And that way we still leverage from the caching that Dagger does by ignoring the Dagger module like code, and we can run it locally as well.
Yeah, we could. I mean, this is basically like a quick win to like speed up the development process, so we don't have to commit files each time, right?
Yep.
I mean, this
No,
is still
not
running,
just commit, but also be able to like leave the without the optimization that we did initially of not including the Dagger module code to speed things up a little bit when we are iterating over the module and not invalidate everything. To keep that optimization, we could just add a with exec that commits those files. Since like my point here is this is a very specific type of behavior that you need for brute test bot. And if you were running this with Docker, you were kind of like tied. There's not much that you can do other than create a new Docker file and have like dockerfile.test and then do the git commit, whatever it is that you may need to do. In our case, it's just like adding a with exec and that's it. Like that's all you need to do to actually make this work and keep the optimization. We shouldn't do it now, but it's like, something that we know it's simple to do. Yeah.
We can do it. But now that I've removed it, so if we do the git diff, okay, we didn't the partition on the test. Cool.
Yeah.
So now that I
So
have this,
the one in CI is going to fail, right?
The one in CI is gonna no, shouldn't fail because the one in CI has everything committed.
No, because we're removing the like.
Oh, we are doing this.
We're doing the
right,
without
right.
exactly. Yeah.
So
That's it.
Git amend. So I'm gonna amend this and I'm gonna run this again here and I'm gonna push this again because this is gonna fail.
Nice.
Git push. Okay, so hopefully, well, let's wait to see if this actually fails for the same reason, which it should. And okay, now we should be, as you can see, it actually takes a bunch of time in CI as well. Actually, this git clone that we see here, that takes, where is it? So there was a clone here. So as you can see, it basically went from 2 seconds to like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was like this clone. So it went from 3 seconds to 3 minutes. So it actually cloned 800 megabytes. I do believe that this should be easily improved, but I guess we need to like deep dive into what Brew is doing in the internals, and it's outside the scope of this project. But this seems like very inefficient initially. Okay, so this should have triggered. So, okay, so the pipeline failed. Hopefully, this is going to be the same fail that we see locally. Let's see. Oh, check this out, Mati. So this is, this is the amazingness of Dagger. So the same issue that I had locally, I have it on CI on the first try. So this is amazing, by the way.
We're gonna count it as it worked.
Exactly.
Because it got the same result than locally, so that means it works.
Exactly. Yeah, Dagger works as promised. So now that we fix this locally, we should go back to the new GitHub action, right? So this one is gonna still take a lot of time, but it should be able to pass now. So if my local build passes, which is this one, this other one should also pass as well.
Yep.
And yeah, what do we do in the meantime? Do we want to like address any of the to-dos that we had here? Or like we have one to do here. I think it was like fixing this formatting, and then we have like this foo here as well. Which was this foo about?
The version, the brew version.
Oh, the commit SHA, right?
So yeah, we're gonna be using like basically that as yeah.
I guess the commit SHA, we can maybe send it as an argument of the publish function.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
So we can send the directory, registry username token, and then commit SHA,
Mm-hmm.
the string, and then we can send it here. Okay.
No, there we
sending
already
it
send
here.
it. Yeah, we just hard coded there. Yeah.
Commit SHA here. Oops, forgot a comma. And then here I'm gonna also need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's after it's the last one, right?
At the end.
And
Nice.
then here as well.
Yep.
Cool. So we have it here.
Nice.
So if I modify the pipeline now, I can actually get the commit SHA from oops. Wait, what did I do? Okay. There's a variable for this, right? Which is called GitHub ref, I believe.
GitHub SHA.
GitHub SHA.
GitHub.SHA. Actually, if you use that, you can do
okay.
with the underscore. Yeah. GitHub.SHA.
So we have that. And I need to send the argument, which is commit SHA.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure that the argument is like that. So Dagger all publish help. Yeah, commit
Nice.
SHA. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So we have this. This is still running in CI. It's
still cloning.
running locally as well. We'll see.
Mental note for next time: pick a project that is a little bit faster.
So it's running the test now. It shouldn't fail on the checks, hopefully. Oh, finished. Nice.
Nice. There
Nice.
you go.
So we have this. Okay, we have like pretty much the whole thing.
Yep.
So now that we have this, we can, I guess, commit this stuff, which is, yeah, it's gonna trigger, oops, like a new build, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Commit, and then we can do add commit SHA. Build.
Don't push it yet, so that we let the other one finish.
I mean, the other one is still gonna finish because we don't cancel them, so that's fine.
Oh, we don't have the okay.
Git push.
That's good.
I mean, I'm actually very surprised the fact that
okay.
Oh, it
finished.
Nice. Woo, the
it
first
worked?
try, man. I really like this.
Nice.
So how to tame your CI on the first try, basically. I mean, this is amazing. I really love it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say that I'm actually surprised about the amount of like free compute that actually GitHub Actions provide. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know how they're actually making it.
Is it free or does this organization have your credit card?
Yeah, I think it's free. So this seems to be publishing. Hopefully it's gonna work. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean
layers.
The thing that might not work is authorization. Yeah, like maybe we didn't correct. Like
does not exist or may require authorization. Insufficient scope, authorization failed. Okay.
Oh yeah, because it's like pushing to Franella brew Ubuntu, and it should be pushing to Matipan because there is no Franella brew Ubuntu. So we messed up the.
Oh, Docker.io. Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
for Docker.io only. So maybe we can like skip that one because I think that for the GHCR it is going to work because we tested that one last week or 2 weeks ago.
Cancel this one. Okay.
Yeah, and we didn't test this locally, so we didn't really because we don't want to expose ourselves.
So we are like this one is one that.
Yeah. So why don't we use like username for instead of Franella? Why don't we use like username? And that way, when we specify the hub username, it's going to use Matipan, and when we specify the GHCR, it's going to use Franella. So it should work.
Like this, right? Like this here?
Yes. Yes.
And above
and at the bottom as well. Yeah.
Like there.
Yes. I think that if we do this,
we are sending Franella brew to base container. That's okay.
Yeah, because I think that's for like the repository, like ID or something. Yeah, the GitHub repo, the source. So line
Okay, that's
26. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like an
And then we have,
annotation,
yeah,
but a
that's right.
label, not annotation. Yeah.
So this should be it. I think so, right?
I think so. You can you test it locally?
I mean, I can't because I need privileges to push, right?
Yeah, you can test it locally with your credentials and your Docker Hub. So you can do like a Dagger publish using like Marcos Nils or whichever Docker Hub username you have.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I'm tempted to not let you export some
Yeah. Why not?
variable that and then
Yeah,
get
exactly.
owned.
So let's try this. This should work. Let's do it again. Let's
Yeah.
try. Git commit, and this is basically fix, publish, registry, username.
And today I'm not sharing my screen because my computer dies every time I do that. So we're gonna stick with Marcos' screen, and you're gonna have to appreciate iFree and all that Franella config that he likes.
Sorry that you have to see me
All those
go
weird
through this.
green or red characters. The battery
We actually have
emoji, which I
one
bet
viewer.
took you like an entire weekend to set up.
Yeah, probably. We actually have one viewer in YouTube, so I don't know who you are, but thank you for.
Okay, nice. Probably my mom.
Yeah, thank you for spending with us. Why am I not seeing the CI running? Why didn't I get a CI for this? Oh, because no, wait.
Oh, we need to change we need to change what gets triggered basically.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, because since this is not a pull request, it's going to be commit per commit. Yeah.
Docker. Oh, oops. Docker YAML, right? So
Yeah.
what? Oh, so it only okay.
We
on
need
the
Dagger
Docker
as well.
file, and
Yeah.
should I add the Dagger thing here?
I think so, because if like right now we're only using it for testing and publishing.
Okay.
So it is like it goes one to one with the Docker file, right? If you change the Docker file or the Dagger module, you probably want to test the entire workflow of publishing and doing that stuff. Yeah.
Is it a folder in up here? I need to do this.
It's a folder. Yeah.
So you can
Oh,
put a folder
actually,
here?
I don't know. I think it's globs, so I think you need to add the because I don't think like the raw or that's it. Well, I don't remember. Not a glob expert.
Okay. Anyway, let's see. And let's git amend. Okay. Push -F for the win.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this should generate a new commit, and this should be the last one. So if everything goes okay,
yeah,
this should be the last commit, and we are right on time because we have a meeting in 5 minutes here at Dagger.
And we've been going at it for 51 minutes, so it's probably a good time to stop.
So it, so what would be? So this is Daggerize. I think one thing that we didn't do, Mati, is on the Docker pipeline. On the original pipeline, we saw that there was like a step that was deploying to a different registry given a condition, right?
I think it was the same registry, but with a different image name.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess what's left to do here is basically enable this matrix of versions.
Yep.
And then we, on the publish, as you can see here, we are publishing to first to this brew Ubuntu version and then brew Ubuntu latest. And then we need to do another, like if, are we iterating? Yeah. If version equals 2204, was it?
2204.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if this is the case, then it basically did another publish.
Yes.
To
the plain brew, like we need to remove the Ubuntu. Yeah.
It's without the Ubuntu, right?
Yep. It's like the official image.
So this is homebrew brew, right? Basically.
Yes, exactly.
And then to both. So I need to do 2 more pushes. But instead of like brew Ubuntu, this is brew. And the other repository.
Actually, you don't need to do 2 because that gets taken care of by the orchestrator, like the one that iterates.
Oh, you're right.
You just need to do 1, and that's it.
Okay, I'm iterating through versions here.
So in publish, you're
What?
receiving a specific version and you're iterating
Yeah,
on versions on the top one, on the publish all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not receiving this is a constant, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Okay.
no, wait,
Let's
wait,
see
wait,
what's
wait.
happening.
My bad. I was looking at the wrong code base. Um,
You-
yeah, yeah. It was correct what I said before, but the other way around. So we iterate here, but we call the publish function. That
Yep.
is the publish all, or isn't it?
And the publish function
Yeah, that's fine.
is
So
the Dagger
in the
publish function.
publish all, we call publish multiple times. So we iterate multiple times, one for each registry. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, we do it once for
Yes.
Docker.io and one
Once for
for
GHCR.
GHCR, which is fine.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so this is gonna publish to both GHCR and Docker.io. So yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So this finished. Okay. So we have this, and I guess that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
We can't really open a PR now because of we need to clean up the
names and all
this.
that stuff. Yeah.
We need to clean up like the names and like uncomment this, but this is pretty much Daggerized. We basically went from like I don't know 50 to 120, right? We went from like a 70 line YAML file, 50 to 120, yeah, pretty much. Like a 50 line, 40 line YAML file.
Yeah.
But actually no, it should be way less, right? Because this part.
Yeah, I mean,
so like the basically.
I think the relevant part is that we went from having to read the YAML in order to understand what's going on and read Docker file to only read the Dagger main.go to understand what's going on, and that's it. Like that's like then you just add the Dagger call to the module, like the method that you want, the function that you want, and that's it. I think for me that's like the biggest win when I usually go about Daggerizing existing projects, is that I get to read at a single place that's code and easier to understand. And then if it ends up with less YAML, great. If not, because it's like the setup is verbose or the config is verbose or whatever, that's fine. As long as I can clearly understand what's going on and test it, like we did here, I think that's a huge win.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that as you were saying, like understanding the pipeline, and of course the other aspect is the fact that you can run it locally as well.
Yeah.
As you saw, basically the promise of Dagger pretty much fulfilled on this particular Daggerization project, which was like we iterated locally, and the exact same feedback that we got locally, we got it on CI. And once we fixed that, we basically got fixed on CI as well. So our iteration loops were like way faster, shorter basically, and we have like a cleaner GitHub Actions YAML, which is only like 2 steps, right? I call build, and then I call publish, and then basically this takes care of all the publishing for me, which is awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
Did the pipeline finished? Okay, it's in
let's
the
wait.
publish.
Let's wait to see, because this should only take like a few seconds. If we already
let's
have
see if the permissions are in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is already publishing the images to like our registry, but like if this works, the final step before sending a PR, and then, I mean, we're not gonna make another stream for this because it doesn't make sense. So next Friday is gonna be probably around Daggerizing something else. But if this works, the only missing parts are like cleaning up the GitHub Actions file.
Yeah.
And then opening the PR, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see.
Export
layers done. And let's see. So I think it got published here already. So now it's gonna probably want to publish it to the GHCR one, which is the one that failed before, I believe.
Publish at
Docker pan. So okay, Docker Hub actually worked.
Yeah, nice.
And we'll see what happens now in the
the GHCR one. Yeah.
Oh, it passed. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have a green pass. Let's see how much overhead we added to all this. So this actually took 6 minutes and 24 seconds. And if we go to the original repo, let's go to actions, Docker, and there's a pull request here. And we can check one of the jobs, I don't know, like this one. So it basically went from 5 minutes and 26 seconds to 6 minutes and 24 seconds. So we added only 1 minute of execution, and this is probably because of the whole Dagger initialization. We're pulling an image.
Yeah.
Um,
Starting the engine
like
and all that stuff. Yeah.
stopping the engine, yeah, and all that. So yeah, it was like a pretty cool Daggerization pipeline, in my opinion. So I'm really happy for it. And yeah, do we have like the duration here? So this one, for example, took 7 minutes. This one took 7 minutes, 10 minutes. So it seems like it's yeah. This one took like 8 minutes. Yeah. So it seems like we are within the range of like execution as well. 7 minutes, 7 minutes.
I think the release ones take longer because they're also publishing to another registry, and the pull requests take less because they have that less step.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Nice. I'm gonna go to the intro.
Through the meeting. Yeah, with Matthias. It was like yeah. Let's go to the.
Oh, can you share again?
Oh, sorry. I basically broke the whole stream.
Now people know what we do to get this working in Linux.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did it work?
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so thank you everyone. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback about Dagger in general, feel free to go into the Dagger Discord. You can find it on the Dagger homepage. And next week we're gonna be Daggerizing something else with Matthias. So if you have any ideas on what to Daggerize, or if you want us like seeing us doing something, let us know. Nice. See you on the next one.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks. Take care.